Bringing real empowerment right to your front doorstep. In this case, right to your microphone, to your headphone, to your video um, reception on your mobile device or whatever you happen to be watching or listening to. For this podcast, we have empowerment right from the streets to the suites and back. We've got a fan question we're going to answer today. Her name is Sasha. This question comes from Sasha Kingskid. She's on Instagram. She's SASHA underscore KINGSKID. Sasha Kingskid, a unique name from on Instagram. She asks, "What's the best way to start investing in real estate?" It's a good question, and my answer is keep it simple. Like keep it simple and keep it modest. Don't be dramatic. This is no time to get fancy, right? I want you to ask a whole lot of questions. I asked Quincy Jones once, "Man, how'd you get so smart?" He said, "John, I'm just nosy as hell. I want to know everything about everything." Well, that's how I want you to be about real estate. I want you to know everything about everything. Ambassador Andrew Young, my mentor, my hero, my man, the right arm to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the central leaders of the civil rights movement, says that men and women fail for three reasons: arrogance, pride, and greed. Hello. I don't want you prideful. I don't want you arrogant. I certainly don't want you greedy because you'll get ahead of your skis. You'll start doing crazy stuff, and yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Maybe I want to keep this simple and answer a question first. But I want you to just be humble, right? Ask a whole bunch of questions. Go to Operation Hope. Talk to one of my Hope Financial coaches. Just ask a whole bunch of, there's no silly question. There's no stupid question. Ask because no one taught you this stuff. No one gave you a lesson in financial literacy or how capitalism and free enterprise works. It's what you don't know that you don't know that's killing you, but you think you know. Here's what I want you to not do. I don't want you to have to listen to anybody who's trying to separate you from your wallet. Don't invest, if you want to call it that, in fractional real estate. That's not the way to start. Don't invest in what are these things? I did these timeshares. I'm not hating on timeshares. Actually, I am. I own one. I've been trying to get rid of this thing for probably 10 years. I've owned it for 25 years. It's just drained me. Basically I've rented a piece of somebody else's. Well, I own a piece of the real estate, but I because I don't own the whole real estate. I don't owe it fee simple, as we call it. I own a fraction of it. Yes, I can feel pride that I have a piece of real estate, and it's a good location. It's in Newport Beach, along the ocean. But I can't just go sell it. I got to negotiate with all the in alignment with all the other fractional owners and the master controller of that, which is a company I won't name. And I got to pay. If I don't pay the maintenance fee every year, they can take the property from me. It just gets ridiculous. So and you don't have to like do something complicated like that. You don't even need to go buy a big home. You can buy a condo, a townhouse. Start modestly, right? You can buy there was when I got to Atlanta, you could buy a rundown piece of property for 5, 10, $15,000. There are small towns maybe where you live. You want to buy something, close to where you can get to, drive back and forth there every day if you need to. So you don't want to do something more than a couple hours from where you are. I'd say more than an hour from where you are. And somebody who can maybe help oversee the property with you if you're, doing this with somebody else, doing it with a partner or family or whatever, right? But you want to do it modest. You want to keep it simple. Clearly, buying your own home is smart, but if you do that, there's nothing wrong with a starter home. Don't go trying to buy a mini mansion if work for the postal service. Look, my mother worked at McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, and she when she got laid off there, she was a janitor part time at my school. I'm not hating on any kind of job occupation. She was a security guard. I'm saying if you're a security guard, if you're a janitor, if you're a postal worker, if whatever, some cool, really important but modest employment situation. Don't go trying to buy a half million, $750,000, $1 million property. That's crazy, right? And don't listen to anybody trying to sell it to you, right? You want to buy something that doesn't stress you out, that you can handle, right? Uh, basically you want to buy something that would equate to what you pay for rent on a monthly basis, and you want to have have save up and have a little reserve on the side. Now maybe you don't have a big down payment. That's okay. Go to my coaches. If you never heard of the earned income tax credit and you make less than $60,000 a year, uh, congratulations. I've also just told you that you've got some money coming to you. That's right, EITC. If you make less than $60,000 a year, and if you have three children, check this out. You make $35,000 a year. You got three kids. The government owes you 6,000. I think that's the number. About $6,000, $6,500 in a cash tax refund. If you never heard of EITC, is retroactive for 3 years. Okay, that's now help me with the math. That's 18,000, almost $20,000. Uh, there's your down payment for your home. You're buying your first starter home you want to buy. If you need 10% or 5% down payment, now you have a down payment plus you have a reserve for maintenance and anything that goes bump in the night, upkeep for the house, whatever, right? Because you want to have a little account set aside for if a pipe bursts or whatever. Uh, and my team can also like help you put a proper budget in place and get your credit score up so you get a great mortgage. So you want to get pre-qualified with a lender, and you want to make sure it's not a hard money lender, not Boo Boo and Pookie and them. You want to get a proper. You talk about getting married. You get married to this property. It's going to be a 30-year mortgage uh, commitment, and you want to make sure it's a good mortgage, right? You want to be cool with it as it's cool with you, and you want fixed rate, in my opinion. And if you have a 700 credit score or better, you're going to get a good rate, and you're going to lock that in through my people or whoever you work with. My people work for free, right? And then you take that commitment that you maybe get approved for $150,000, $250,000, $300,000, whatever $400,000 you get approved for. I don't think your starter house should be any more than that. Hello, um, and start a house or first piece of real estate if it's an investment property, and then go with confidence. Get a broker, to represent you. So they know more about the area and all that than you do, and take your time and wait for something to inspire you. Again, you got to decide whether you want to invest in your own starter home yourself or whether you want to invest in a investment property like a raggedy home in the hood that you buy, you rehab, and you rent, or maybe it's a duplex, or maybe it's a triplex, or I wouldn't suggest a multifamily as your first investment. So keep it simple, and be humble and ask a lot of questions and take your time. There's always a chance to do it again, but it's very hard. It's very easy to get married, very hard to get divorced. And the same thing applies to real estate. Very easy to get into something bad and very hard to get out of it once you're already committed to it. So, again, keep it simple, keep it humble, keep it modest, and keep it moving. All right, love and light. And thank you very much to this wonderful question from Sasha. I look forward to seeing you at the finish line, Sasha. With questions like this, no doubt you're going to be successful.